high-performance internet.
Sportsline.com reporting financial results today. The sports website had a narrower loss last quarter than the street was looking for. Lost 57 cents a share. The street had been forecasting a loss of 75 cents a share. Fortune's Andy Serwer headed down to Florida earlier this week to talk with CEO Mike Levy and a famous shareholder who took a chance on the web all the way back in 1994, before the internet really took off.
Big story is
Joe Namath and Mike Levy teamed up 6 years ago when Levy was having a tough time raising capital to start his sports website.
It was very difficult to raise money, and then when Joe got involved, a friend of Joe's put in $2 million. But every venture capital firm had turned me down numerous times in 1994.
A lot of people didn't have the foresight that Mike and our people had, certainly, and it was not easy getting people to invest.
Whether it was Namath's name, market potential, or both, investors eventually came around. For his part, Namath received stock and warrants that amount to a little less than 1% of Sportsline's outstanding shares. Holdings now worth about $8 million. Maybe chump change for internet billionaires, but not a bad score for this New York sports legend.
I've got a lot of buddies say, hey, why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you tell me about that? You know, and they may have forgotten there was a time that we had discussed Sportsline.
Besides watching his investment appreciate, Namath has also stayed busy within the company.
Are you ready? Super Bowl line are coming.
Sportsline runs a sports talk radio station with syndication nationwide through Westwood One and, of course, over its website.
And what's great about radio on the internet is you can archive all the great interviews. In fact, if you're put on hold when you call Sportsline, you hear some of those interviews while you're waiting.
Right. And Joe, obviously you're a participant in this business. You're a commentator and broadcaster for their radio business.
Expert analyst, too, boy. But I've picked some wrong games here.
One reason venture capitalists balked at bankrolling Sportsline in the early days, the company was based in Florida, not traditionally thought of as a high-tech hotspot.
Is it hard to get people to work here? Is it different having an internet culture in Florida?
Yeah, it was in the early days. We recruited just about everyone that works here from out of state. And, of course, all of our investors were from out of state. Joe was the only guy that was a fellow Floridian.
It didn't take our people long to take a liking to this place, I tell you that. I mean, South Florida is a wonderful spot.
Well, you know, it was really great hanging out with Joe Namath. You don't get to do that very often. Interestingly, this stock, which reached about $60 a share in December, has kind of fallen a little bit, particularly in January. There have been some concerns that the Time Warner AOL merger might hurt this company because Sportsline provides content for AOL, and the thinking is that AOL may turn to CNN, SI to do that. But I talked to Mike Levy, and he said it won't happen for a couple years, if it does.
If at all. Okay. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Okay, guys.
Andy Serwer.
Thanks. And that's all for In the Money coming up tomorrow.